mama wanna move. Stop it, boy. If papa wanna move. Stop it, boy. I'm waiting to worry you. If I don't marry before today. I already bought my suit. The honeymoon for before Takwabi. But you know, yeah. In mama wanna move. Like a custard. If I'm having you on my door, start banner before you do me so sad. When it starts, it go do you like a crocodile. And you go say, I am feeling like to run. And when you run, that's when them go they talk. And when it's shell, that belly go say, in mama wanna move. Stop it, boy. In papa wanna move. I already bought my suit. The honeymoon for before Takwabi. But you know, yeah, hey mama wanna move. Stop it, boy. You know, yeah. Now we did. Never left. Stop it, boy. You know, yeah. Now we did. Hey mama wanna move. Respect, Felix King. Today, answer, If you wait, say you want mamba, no. Scoosh, no. Good, no. If you wait, say you want drama, no. Answer, If you wait, say you want loud, no. Before, science student had nothing on me. I used to take codeine, mix it with a lot of other things. A lot of other very risky things. Over time, the thing go. Skibbity papa, skibbity, hey. The thing go. Skibbity papa, skibbity pa. I nearly die overdose. Drama nearly by me very close. Them say Colorado make a king go gaga. People wanna me still take a black mamba. Them hell I'm say you are mixing like a DJ. DJ Akino get something to say. When them ask him, he said the thing they make me higher. He they make me know they tire. I'm always burning like a fire. Now the thing when I desire. Oh yeah, help me sing them like a fire. Now be what till you require. Till you go do not to retire. Before your body go expire. Answer, If you wait, say you want mamba, no. Scoosh, no. Good, no. If you wait, say you want drama, no. Answer, If you wait, say you want loud, no. Scoosh, no. Good. Science student will tell you, say, oh loud, oh. When it is in the body, squishy, squishy. Naim Laraba give up Puccio. Over time, the thing go. Skibbity papa, skibbity, hey. The thing go. Skibbity papa, skibbity pa. I nearly die overdose. Drama nearly by me very close. Them say Colorado make a king go gaga. People wanna me still take the black mamba. Them hell I'm saying.
live, talking of Dr. John Umobai, who will be speaking with us on our first topic for discussion today, that's addressing the fear of stigmatization in recovery. And we'll have your girl also, well, let me call her Hawa Mohammed, but I guess you all know her as Jaruma, who is the founder of Jaruma Empire, and she's also live with us, and you will be hearing from her very soon, very shortly. But before that, I would like to tell us that indeed this is a platform where we share information, knowledge, and raise awareness about substance abuse and its devastating impact on human lives, public health, and indeed our environment. This platform also serves as a channel for us to provide you, to provide those struggling with substance abuse some help, although especially those who need treatment. It is equally a means for us to update you about the activities of the agency, especially what we're doing to curb the scourge of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking, as well as getting your feedback so that we can continue to serve you better, especially you, the individuals, our society, and indeed humanity. I would also like to bring to your notice that indeed this conversation is recorded and is streamed live on our other social media handles, especially at NDLA01 on Facebook and at NDLA TV on YouTube. You can always go back to this conversation because it's recorded and take a listen to it again and even share with others. Indeed, I guess we have a lot to share with others today because we will be hearing an expert opinion on stigmatization in recovery, as well as hearing directly from someone who has been impacted by this same scourge, and who will be sharing with us her experience, her story, so that a lot of people can learn from whatever she's gone through, and so that we can save quite a lot of other people from falling victim and the consequence or the fear of stigmatization. But before I get to them, our two guests already with us to make their presentation one after the other. Let's remind you of some of the activities of the agency in the past 2 weeks. That comes in our news highlight segment, which will be taken by two of my girls, that's Netta and Comfort. Let's hear from you, Netta.
Thank you, sir. Good day to everyone, and thank you for joining us on this week's X Space. My name is Netta Wedozie, and here are the NDLEA news highlights for the week. First, the headlines. NDLEA intercepts multiple drug consignments in baby food, clothes going to US, UK. Seizes loud shipment hidden in body compartments of 4 vehicles from Canada. Arrest 10 in Lagos, Ondo, Edo, Kogi raids. Multiple consignments of illicit drugs concealed in tins of Cerelac baby food and clothes going to the United States and United Kingdom have been intercepted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA, and a courier firm in Lagos. No less than 36 parcels of a strong strain of cannabis concealed in 6 cartons of tins of branded Nestle Cerelac baby food, with 6 containers in each package, were recovered at the Narco Export Shed of Lagos Airport on Wednesday, 31st July 2024. The psychotropic substance has a total weight of 18.50 kilograms. A freight agent, Salahuddin Souyat Abiola, who presented the consignment for export to the UK, was promptly arrested, while a follow-up operation to Ibadan, Oyo State on Saturday, 3rd August, led to the arrest of the sender of the cargo, Bello Mutura Yofolu, at her number 20 Mofolo Ashore Estate, Elevuro, Okobo area of the Oyo State capital. The Cerelac tins were all factory sealed at the top, while they tampered with the bottom, through which they put the substances covered with loose quantities of the infant cereal meal to prevent discovery, and efforts that ended in futility as vigilant NDLEA officers were able to foil the attempt. In the same vein, 5 different shipments of opioids and other psychoactive substances, such as promethazine, pentazocine, diazepam, tramadol, and morphine, concealed in clothes and other items meant for export to the US and UK, were equally intercepted by NDLEA operatives in Lagos. While one of the shipments containing 820 grams of promethazine and pentazocine injections was going to the United States, the remaining 4 parcels consisting of over 2 kilograms of opioids, such as tramadol, 225 milligrams, Molly, a new psychoactive substance, were heading to the United Kingdom. They were all intercepted on Monday, 29th July, at a logistics company in Lagos. Meanwhile, NDLEA operatives at the Tinkan port in Lagos on Friday, 2nd August, recovered 77 packages of Canadian loud, a synthetic strain of cannabis from the body compartments of 4 vehicles: Toyota Highlander, Ford Explorer, Toyota Corolla, and Toyota Sienna, imported from Canada during a joint examination of some containers with men of the Customs Service and other stakeholders. The seized consignment have a total weight of 38.5 kilograms, while 2 suspects, Salami Abiodun Sunday 34 and Lekon Otoyobi 33, assigned to clear the shipment, have been taken into custody. While Isiadu Sunday was arrested in Mushin, Ojoye, Lagos on Thursday, 1st August, with 1,740 bottles of codeine syrup weighing 174 liters and 1,070 tablets of Molly weighing 600 grams, no less than 50 bags of cannabis with a gross weight of 520 kilograms were recovered in the bush at Isuada, Owo Council area of Ondo State, just as 5 suspects were arrested at Itagbolu Forest, Akure North Local Government area of the state. In Edo State, 22.5 bags of cannabis weighing 220 kilograms were recovered from Egbeta community, Ovia Northeast area of Edo State on Thursday, 30th July, while a suspect, Osayeve Aghoma, was arrested. Another suspect, Ibrahim Abubakar 55, was on Wednesday, 31st July, nabbed with 40 blocks of the same substance weighing 19.200 kilograms along Okene Lokoja Highway in a commercial bus coming from Lagos and route Kano. While commending the officers and men of MMIA, Kogi, Edo, Ondo, Lagos, and Tinkan commands, as well as those of Dogi, for the arrest and seizures, Chairman Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Bubamaro, reduction efforts balanced with wider sensitization activities, while he charged them and their compatriots across the country to maintain the zeal and tempo. That's it on arrest and seizures. Now, here are some of the wider activities across the country for the week. Over to you, Comfort.
Thank you, Netta. My name is Comfort Folorenshaw, and here are some of the wider activities across the country for the week. The War Against Drug Abuse WADA Initiative, flagship social advocacy program of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, continues to blaze the trail in the quest for a drug-free society. Through its multifaceted approaches, WADA empowers stakeholders to make informed decisions and adopt healthy lifestyle choices. On Monday, 29th July, the Ondo State Command of NDLEA embarked on a strategic WADA advocacy visit to the Lisa of Ifon and other leaders of the community, fostering a collaborative environment to prevent drug abuse. Same day, the Katsina State Command delivered a captivating WADA enlightenment lecture to students and staff of Kwadam College of Health Technology, Kofa, Kaura. On Tuesday, 30th July, the Akwa Ibom State Command presented a comprehensive WADA enlightenment lectures to soldiers and officers of 6th Battalion Brigade of the Nigerian Army, ABAC, highlighting the perils of drug abuse and its far-reaching consequences. On Wednesday, 31st July 2024, the Zone M Zonal Command of NDLEA conducted an engaging WADA sensitization lecture for the staff of Federal Medical Center, Asaba, Delta State, while the Zone F Zonal Command took the WADA advocacy message to the management and staff of Kaduna Power Supply Company, emphasizing the importance of a drug-free workforce. Friday, 2nd August, saw the Anambra State Command delivering a thought-provoking WADA sensitization lecture to the youths of St. Gabriel Catholic Church, Opunoka, equipping them with valuable knowledge to make informed decisions about drug use. That's the update for this week. My name is Comfort, and I hand you over to our host, Mr. Femi Babafemi.
All right, thank you very much there. Comfort and Netha, now welcome back from the news highlight segments. Excuse me. Let's remind ourselves about some of the rules of engagement on this platform today. Please, when we approve you to be on the speaker's corner, ensure that you remain muted until after the presentation of our guest, and we start inviting individuals to unmute themselves to make their contributions, ask their questions, and in that orderly manner. Please let's note that here we don't discuss politics and we don't encourage unauthorized interruption. Please let's try as much as possible to play by the rules so that we can all enjoy this conversation. Now, before I get to our guest, let me quickly remind us about the agencies, that's the NDLA's drug call center, 24/7 call center, where we have an array of experts ranging from counselors, psychotherapists, clinical psychologists, and psychiatric doctors, where they work 24/7, every day, every hour, every minute to take your course, especially those struggling with substance abuse, their friends or their family members, so that we can provide you the needed help, the needed guidance. That's why we have that call center working 24/7. Please call our toll-free helpline. You are not paying for the call. The cost is on us. Please call our toll-free helpline 0800 1020 3040. I repeat, 0800 1020 3040. That's our toll-free helpline. Call them anytime from any part of the country, right? In the comfort of your homes or on the road, wherever you may be, they will attend to you. Also know that that service is language sensitive, meaning that if you cannot speak to them in English or Pidgin, we also have experts that can talk to you or address your issues in any of the three major Nigerian languages, that is Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. So this is just to remove the barrier that some people may have from accessing this service. So let's get that settled. We would also like to let us know that indeed on June 26th, the agency also launched in homes, in schools, workplaces, communities, to help in the early detection of drug use, and so as to save lives, so as to get help for those involved. And again, this also serves as another with school authorities, whether primary, secondary, or even uni, as well as employers of labor, workplaces, and communities to have this, the NDLA drug test kit. It's available in all our commands across the country, that you can rest assured about the quality of the testing that you're going to be getting through that particular kit. That's that also that. Now let's quickly get to our first. I think we've arranged this conversation in a way that Dr. John Umogbai would speak first. He would be speaking with us on drug dependence, addressing the fear of stigmatization in recovery. After him, then we have Jaruma coming to relive a live experience that's talking about her experience, and that is overcoming the demo of drugs and stigma. That's the way we title that. But quickly, let me introduce formally Dr. John Umogbai to us. Umogbai is a medical doctor and the chief executive officer of the Barbies First Healthcare Limited, a privately owned mental health organization dedicated to providing comprehensive mental health treatment and rehabilitation services, with treatment and rehabilitation designed to support individuals in their journey towards recovery and holistic health. With over 14 years post-training experience working in several managerial capacities within the medical and non-medical space, he is a behavioral psychological medicine and mental health enthusiast with extensive experience and proficiency in managing mental health conditions, including substance use disorder and drug addiction treatment, psychological first aid, workplace mental health, and occupational health in developing countries, along with several other certifications in mental health. He is a member of Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, advanced member of the International Society of Substance Use Prevention Professionals, that's ISOP Global, also a member of the Alcohol Policy Committee, that's ISOP Nigeria chapter, a member of the Social Psychology Network, PSN, as well as also a member of the Institute of Strategic Management, and also a member of the Nigerian Institute of Management. We have, I have to cut short his profile there, quite a lot to read or to tell you about Dr. John Umogba. Now let me welcome Dr. John Umogba as I invite him to unmute himself while he speaks to us for the next 20 minutes to discuss the given topic, that is drug dependence, addressing the fear of stigmatization in recovery. I'm sure by the time Dr. John, or some people can understand what we mean by addressing the fear of stigmatization in recovery. I'm sure by the time Jaroma comes in to tell you her own experience, then the picture she's probably going to paint will break it down for us to have a practical understanding of what stigmatization and the problem of drug dependence actually mean. Thank you very much, Dr. Umogba. Please go ahead, unmute yourself, and let's listen to you for the next 20 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Bafemi. I'm really happy to be here. I want to believe I'm audible enough. A prompt would...
We are very loud and clear.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here once again, and I would like to say I'm standing all existing protocols, and I recognize the chairman of the NDLA and all other dignitaries and everyone here today. I'll just go straight into the topic. It's one we're quite conversant with, and it's one that everyone here would have experienced directly or indirectly, even without our knowing. Drug dependence has been a common topic for everyone globally as we speak. However, moving into the space of stigmatization and recovery becomes something that we really usually don't want to talk about, or people don't really understand what it means. I would start by creating an arbitrary image. Imagine yourself being accused wrongly or being told lies about in your defense in open public, and you can't even defend yourself. What feelings would you get? How would you react to that? You are being crucified, you are being judged, you are being penalized openly, and you cannot defend yourself, even though it's wrong, sometimes, or right or wrong, but you have no way of saying, I can defend myself. And that's just the least of how it could feel. Only someone who has experienced this would be able to actually tell you what they went through and how they really felt. But in addressing this and talking about this today, I hope that we'll be able to understand and be able to empathize with all those who have been through it and are going through it at the moment, and then we'll be able to see that we can do better and fight stigma and prevent stigma within the context of drug dependence in recovery and treatment. Just to remind us, when we talk about drug dependence or substance dependence, it's a chronic relapsing brain disorder or condition characterized by or substances despite the negative consequences. As complex as it sounds as a disorder, it affects the individual's brain and consequently the individual's behavior, how they think, how they feel, and how they relate with others, including their relationships and sometimes their daily functioning. Common signs when it comes to drug dependence would include tolerance, which is needing increasing larger doses to get the same effects, withdrawals, experiencing physical or psychological symptoms when trying to either stop or even reduce the amounts being used. Loss of control, which is using more than needed or for longer or in longer periods than intended. Neglect of responsibilities, putting drug use over either work, relationships, personal care, and several other things that are meant to be important. There's also craving, which is an intense desire or urge to use the substance or the drug. And then you cannot talk about this without talking about relapse, which is having repeated attempts to either quit or reduce and then failing in that attempt to do so. Why did I have to say this? It's also why I'm saying it's also important to understand that there also could be comorbid conditions associated with it: depression, anxiety, trauma, even as far as psychotic illnesses, alongside drug use. But beyond that, what is stigma? We all talk about stigma and we all have different interpretations of stigma. But in very simple terms, stigma really is negative attitudes, beliefs, and stereotypes that people hold about a particular group or something or characteristics, even including mental illness or behavior, or as the case may be in our conversation today, drug dependence and those in treatments for drug dependence. Having said this, we cannot shy away from the fact that drug dependence affects millions of people worldwide. And stigma and fear of judgment hinders recovery, and we'll get to understand why as we move forward. There's also something very important called internalized shame and guilt, which exacerbates the individual's suffering. It worsens the individual's suffering, and only the individual would be going through this, and everyone around would not really understand that they are actually going through so much pain and suffering. Let's understand more. Having tried to define these terms or explain a little bit, there can be several sources of stigma, ranging from misconceptions, media portrayals, societal attributes or attitudes as the case may be, even our religions in some cases, or traditions as the case may be, and even within the home as well, and we'll get to understand that. But the impact of this creates barriers to seeking help, importantly, and as I mentioned earlier, increases the individual's suffering, and then ends up, we now begin to talk about relapse. Stigma can lead to discrimination, prejudices, and social exclusion, causing harm and marginalization to individuals who experience it. There can be a few types of stigma. For the purpose of this conversation, we can have what we call public stigma, which, as we all know, as it stays, is associated with the general public and how they perceive things. And then self-stigma, which is internalized shame and negative belief about oneself, most times in relation to something, in this case in relation to the drug use habits. And then institutional stigma, which is discriminating policies and practices within organizations and institutions. So you in some organizations, or they may have some policies or habits or practices that tend to stigmatize people who go through certain situations. The rate of stigma can vary, as earlier said, from internalized shame and guilt, fear of judgment and rejection, social isolation and loneliness. As we can see, let's imagine someone who has been trying to stop battling the demon of drug dependence and is presently in recovery, may have even gone through a rehab and then has come back home, and then is facing stigma, or is going through stigma, and is now having to deal with internalized shame and guilt because of the stigma. What will that lead to? That definitely would lead to a relapse. fear of judgment and rejection. That would also mean that sometimes they may not even want to access help or care anymore. Social isolation and loneliness. At the end of the day, going through all of this, you begin to hear things like, no one understands me, no one can help me. And then the only solace or the only company that comes to mind as a way to feel better would probably be going back into that substance, resulting in a relapse. Low self-esteem and self-worth. Difficulty seeking help or support. Poor mental health and physical health outcomes can result in that, because the individual cannot seek help anymore. Let's not forget discrimination and marginalization, even from loved ones sometimes. And then this leads to worsening feelings of shame and guilt, which will create a very big barrier to recovery and reintegration back into the society. I'm trying to be fast because of the time, otherwise I would have talked more about this, but let's go on. In breaking down stigma, how do we break down stigma? What do we do? What are the things we should do? Before I go into that, because the context of this conversation is talking about the individual in recovery, I would not also want to forget that the family and the loved ones and caregivers play a very important role. And they also can be implicated in what we call stigma in different ways. Some of us may not have heard about what we call high expressed emotions. This is a term on its own, but in negative terms can also result in stigma even without loved ones knowing. And what do I mean by this? It's a communication style characterized by criticism, frequent disapproval and blame, hostility, which is openly expressed anger, resentment, or aggression. And a lot of times, the family members or the caregivers or people close to this individual, they would have been frustrated a lot. Let's not forget that when it comes to substance, when it comes to substance use, when it comes to addiction, when it comes to drug dependence, everyone around that individual suffers. And they're not just suffering in little terms, in the gravity, in very extreme ways. Financially, psychologically, physically, emotionally, they would have gone through a lot as well. Especially when they are not well educated about what is going on with the individual. So you hear things that after all we've done for you, what we have been doing for you, you still went back, you still relapsed. Over how many times do I struggle without their knowing? In some cases, it could be emotional over-involvement, an extreme of love, which can lead to worry, concern. Let's imagine a young man who is in recovery and probably and he just wants to go down the road to get suya. Immediately stepping at the gate, they're shouting at him, "You are going to go and do this again." You can see he didn't have the intention of going to go and use substance. But the high expressed emotion is what's playing out there. Or another extreme case of love. "Oh, Tunde, don't touch this. You know you're not feeling well. You just go back. No, don't touch the plate. You know what? Don't. Let's go and have your bath. Let's go and bath you. Let's go and do this." The individual becomes worried. It breaks down the individual's self-esteem. The individual starts feeling stigmatized by everyone around them without them knowing, either through hostility or through extreme emotional over-involvement. And this can be detrimental when it comes to drug dependence, because it will increase stress and anxiety for that individual. It would reinforce negative self-image for the individual in recovery. It would trigger a defensive behavior most times. So you now find them reacting angrily as well. And when these emotional triggers come, they need to find a way to actually try and relax themselves. And the only way the brain knows or used to know in the past was use substance to calm down or to cope with this. What happens is that the individual finds themselves having an emotional relapse and then a mental relapse and then into they've relapsed again. Apart from triggering defensive behavior, it hinders open communication. So even when they are going through some things, they can't share anymore with people around them. If they find it difficult, who do I talk to that would not judge me? Who do I speak to that will not point fingers at me or that will not look at me funny? Or this one is an addict. Oh, he's a drugger. He just came back from relapse. He just came back from the rehab. She just came back from the rehab. And then it decreases the treatment engagement and retention, and we know where that leads to, a relapse. So what do we do? What do we encourage? We encourage family, when it comes to clinicians, family members and caregivers are unintentionally causing harm in these situations. They increase the feelings of shame. I reiterate that. They decrease the motivation for the individual in that battle to stay sober. They increase resistance to treatment and then a relapse. So what we want to encourage is the opposite of that. Low expressed emotions, a supportive, empathetic, and non-judgmental approach in communicating and dealing with the individual. This would enhance treatment engagement. This will promote open communication. This will foster positive self-image. It would support relapse prevention. As professionals, what we try to do when we have people going through recovery, we also want to educate or have some form of family therapy for their loved ones and caregivers to help them develop low expressed emotions skills like active listening, empathy, problem solving, positive reinforcement, which in the long run cumulatively would encourage recovery and overall well-being. But collectively, as a people, collectively, beyond the family, and this comes down to all of us, how do we fight stigma for this group? How do we fight stigma? Education and awareness, like what we are doing now, it is very important and this is very commendable. Not just about stigma, but about the disease condition itself. Understanding addiction as a disease is very important and not just a behavioral challenge. Can't you just stop? We hear that a lot of time. Just stop your bad behavior, not understanding that this individual is actually going through a whole lot more than just a behavioral issue. It's actually a disease condition that has degenerated because of the substance use and has affected the brain. Empathy is very important, and compassion. We need to support recovery with kindness, and it's very important. Show love. Embrace them, because they're still human beings like everyone else. If someone had hypertension or had a stroke and was in treatment and is in recovery, how would we treat such a person? The same way. Personal stories. Let's be open to sharing our personal stories. Because why this is important is because when we mystify things, when we don't know about things, when it becomes a mystery, then it becomes a big challenge and we don't understand it. But when we're able to share personal experiences, we understand that it's not a myth. It can happen to anybody at any age. It can happen to everybody. So it does not make the individual negatively special. No. We are all individuals who can be prone to it. So sharing our personal experiences to humanize recovery is very, very important. And then advocacy for policy changes that promote inclusivity and support as a people, as a community, in our organizations, in our workplaces. This is very important. Other strategies to overcome stigma would mean the individual would seek supportive communities and networks, practice self-care and self-compassion, embrace your story. It is very, very important you are able to embrace your story and share your story with others. That itself would help you fight self-stigmatization and increase your motivation. And you may even become a support system to some other people. And when you place yourself in that situation, what happens is that you are more motivated not to fail. So it also, apart from encouraging every other person, it also helps the individual to stay sober and stay in recovery. So it's important that we embrace our story and be able to share with others if given the opportunity. The power of community support groups cannot be overemphasized, and peer mentorship, and it's very, very important. Shared experiences and understanding, empowerment through connections, positive connections, so we carry each other along. A lot of work has been done when it comes to stigma, in conditions like HIV, AIDS, and the likes, and we see how much work has been done in embracing it. The same can be brought in when it comes to substance dependence, when it comes to drug addiction. I would like to say that recovery is possible. The treatment options are there and resources are there for treatment. You have success stories and testimonials. We should not hide them. We should speak more about them. We should break the culture of silence. It is very important that we speak up, because that is what will give people hope and encourage resilience in those who are struggling through recovery. It's a call to action. I would like to make a call to action here that let's work together to break down stigma. Let's support recovery with empathy and understanding. Let's create a safe and inclusive environment for healing. Recovery from drug dependence is possible. Stigma can be overcome with support and understanding. And my final words would be, let's break free from stigma and embrace hope. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, dear Dr. John Umobai. We appreciate your speaking with us in the last 20, 30 minutes there about breaking these issues down and encouraging each and everyone. That's that for this section. We'll move to the next presentation, and that will be done by our Hawa Mohammed, who you all know popularly as Jaruma. Jaruma, as you all know, a celebrity, an actress, a businesswoman, and the founder of Jaruma Empire. She has a story, or she has lots of story to tell, and let me invite Jaruma to the mic to tell us how her journey began, what she went through, how she went through them, and how she got to where she is today. Thank you, Jaruma. Please go ahead and let's hear from you.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Okay. Okay, I thought maybe I was going to get a reply. Okay.
No, we are all hearing, everybody hearing you from across the world. Don't worry, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Okay, first I would like to thank my father, Daddy Bubamara, and I want to thank my other father, Daddy Femi, Baba Femi. I want to thank them for giving me this support. You can see, like, my voice is shaking. I'm shaking, actually. I'm very nervous, so I just want to thank them for the support, and the encouragement. And I want to thank everyone in NDLA for, accepting me with open arms, accepting me warmly. Um, I do have a lot to say. I don't even know where to start from. So I'll just try to start somewhere. Actually, I'm just a normal, I'm just a normal young lady, a normal Nigerian young lady from the north, a Muslim northerner. So I made a video once on YouTube talking about something. It was a plant, and I didn't know that it was going to make me. I didn't know the video was gonna go viral. I didn't know it was going to make me, push me to become this Jaruma that everybody knows now. For me, I was just trying to, just have a job, just have like a normal income to like maintain myself, my life. I don't have to be like a liability or burden on anyone. I don't have to ask anyone for anything. But it came so big, it went so viral, it came so big, and I wasn't ready for that type of fame. I wasn't ready for that type of attention, and then I'm very young. A lot of people, when they see me like, you're Jaruma, you're young. I was like, yes, I'm young. Well, your name is bigger than you. I say, yes. The name is actually bigger than the person, I'm really young. So obviously being this young with that level of fame, that level of popularity, and the money that came with it, money comes with madness. Mad money comes with madness. It changes your life. It changes everything about you, especially when you're young. So I'm still young now. So just imagine how young I was in 2015, 2016 when the video went viral and I became very, very popular. So yeah, so being in the spotlight, popularity, fame, being young, I obviously made some mistakes. When people are trying to be a northern Muslim, when people are trying to like bring me down or something, I try to show them I'm hardcore. You can't stop me. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You can't do me shit. That thing comes with being young. So maybe I've made mistakes in the ways I like approach issues or the way I handle issues and stuff like that. So, but then this particular, will I say this particular phase of my life, it actually started, I knew about, yeah, of course, in secondary school, university, you'll have some classmates that, are doing some things and stuff like that. But I didn't involve myself in secondary school and uni because I'm my mother's only child. So I was like, I cannot do any drug, I can't do that because I'm going to kill my mom. I'm her only child, I'm her everything. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, good girl. I went to Istanbul Culture University in Turkey and I'm valedictorian. Go and ask about my university, Istanbul Culture University in Istanbul in Turkey. Like when they want to send students for debate, they send me. I was valedictorian in school, very good student. I did my best. Glory to God. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. So later when all of this, the being in the spotlights and the money came and stuff like that, it comes with madness, it comes with new friends, it comes with a new lifestyle, everything about you changes. So a friend, I knew she was doing drugs. I just want to ask something. Is it okay for me to mention the name of the drug? Like, is it okay for me to say?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I know that she was doing drugs. She's doing loud. So that's what it's called. So we met. We were together. We're actually just chilling and stuff like that. And she offered me loud. I was like, no, babe, I'm good. She was like, Queen J, how do you, if you don't drink and you don't smoke, and you don't do loud, how do you release steam? How do you steam off? And I was like, steam off? And she said, yeah, every celebrity has to have a way of, steam, allow the steam to go out of your body. Miss Mariam, Jakita, okay, you're interrupting, Miss Mariam is interrupting my...
Mariam, I'll have to remove you from the speaker's corner if you don't remain muted. Thank you. Please go ahead, Jaruma.
Okay, so she was like, yeah, every celebrity, and you, Jaruma, that there's so much attention on you, so much controversy, you're always in the news. How do you calm yourself down? How do you steam off? And I said, I swear, babe, I don't know, like, these people who just, laughed about it. I said, these people, they cannot kill me, or they cannot kill me. We just, like, laughed and joked, and I didn't take the loud. And then I am going to follow this up with some pictures and videos of the videos where we're together and she was pressurizing me to drink alcohol. So I'm going to post the video so that you guys can see that. And she was like, I couldn't kill you out to drink now. Everybody's getting out. You have to drink, you have to drink. And I said, no, I couldn't drink because I'm Muslim. So, like, few days later, I saw them with a balloon, and I'm wondering, well, now what the hell is this? What the heck are you guys doing with balloons like you're kids? So I didn't know what the balloon was. So she said, okay, let me show you something. So if I had known what the balloon was, I would have said no, the way I said no when she offered me loud, because I know what loud is, I know what weed is, I know codeine, I know all this one. So when you offer, I can say no. But then this is something I didn't know. So she was like, okay, okay, Miss Mariam Jakada.
I've removed that already. Go ahead, please. I've removed that.
Okay. All right. So she said, okay, try this. So she gave me the balloon, and she put it in my mouth. I don't know how they do it. There's a way they do it. The gas will fill up the balloon, and then she put it in my mouth, and she said, just inhale it. And then immediately I did. Like, one side of my brain just died, and I started drooling. Like, saliva just started. I was standing. And so I just kept on going, like, down to kneel, to kneel towards the floor, as in that's how what I inhaled had taken over my body and one side of my brain. And then I was drooling. I started drooling, and then I was on the floor, And then she was like, yeah, that's it. That's the first time effect. But after you do 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to get used to it, and then it's going to be normal, and then you won't be drooling anymore when you do it. So after I came back, I just left because I was so upset. I was so mad that, I don't do loud, I don't do drugs, I don't do weed. You gave me alcohol I didn't take, and you still had to still do this to me. So I left, and I never spoke to her again. So this is just like the beginning. I'm telling you guys the beginning of my experience with this thing, and what being in the spotlight, how it comes with people and how they can influence you positively or negatively. Because if I wasn't Jaruma, if I wasn't popular, if I wasn't huge, she wouldn't be rolling with me. She wouldn't be with me, So, and then when you're with people like that, that's what money comes with, especially when you're young. So I never spoke to her again. I was really, really mad. And I was bent on, I do not want to be initiated into any drug cycle. So, sorry, I just had to drink some water. So that was the beginning. That passed. I told you guys that story just so that you can understand how my life started changing once I was in the spotlight. So maybe months later, there was a lady. I don't know her. I've never met her. She just sent me a message on Instagram. She said, "Hello, Jaruma. My name is Dr. Anu. I don't. I know you've seen my story. You've seen what happened. So Dr. Anu is a doctor. She does plastic surgery for women in Nigeria. She makes your breast bigger and she makes your bum bigger. So she's a plastic surgeon. So I've never met her before, never spoken to her before. I don't know her. So she reached out to me on Instagram. So everything I'm telling you guys, I told you that I'll be backing it up with, I'll be posting everything for you to see. So I'll back up. And then she said, Koval, come and sit down. Come and sit down on your bed. Come and sit down on your bed. So I sat down. She grabbed my arms. Like, I need to do another video for you guys. You guys need to see my face. You need to see my movements. You need to see my body. You need to see my hands. Like, you need a visual. You need a visual, not just audio. You know. So she said, okay. So she grabbed my hand. She grabbed my arm, and then she did the injection. The moment, the moment she did it through my vein, the moment it touched my blood, I felt something from the back of my neck down to my shoulders. I just felt something like this. The body had felt something it had never, ever, ever felt before. I had never felt anything like that before. And as she was pushing, I was collapsing, pushing, collapsing. You know what I mean when I say collapsing? Like falling on the bed. I'm sitting on the bed, right? So I'm falling with my back. I'm falling, laying down, laying down, laying down to my pillow, laying down to my until I was completely knocked out. That's it. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. I was knocked out. Guess for how long I was knocked out? I was knocked out completely. I don't want to exaggerate or say like it's not possible, but I think I was knocked out for like 2 weeks. I would like, turn around. So like I can turn around and maybe sip some Maltina, maybe um a piece of bread, but I never physically got up from the bed or stand up. So I was knocked out for like 2 weeks. So later, after I got my
Please go ahead, straight to the point, Yaruma. Please go ahead.
okay, okay. After a while, when I woke up, my hand was swollen. She did it for me. My hand and my vein and my hand was swollen. So I was like, okay, let's. I'm in Nigeria now. Let me get to work. Checking the factory, checking everything, just everything. I've left for like 5 years, checking everything is fine and okay. So after like few weeks, something happened again. There was something happened. People, once you're in the spotlight, there's always something. There's always someone is always writing about you or talking about you. Someone has there's always something. Someone has something to say somewhere. So I called her. I said, babe, how far now? Can I please have that sleeping injection? And she said, yeah, sure, sure. And one pack was 60K. I bought, I think I paid 720K. I think I paid like 820K or 720K to her. So I'm going to back this up too with the proof of payments and everything on my platforms. So she would send it to me, send the injections to me, or she'll come and do it for me herself. So initially, I got nurses. So there were nurses that would be injecting me every night to sleep and stuff like that. And then at a point, one stopped working for me. So I had to start doing, so when I say one, I mean like one ampoule stopped working. So I started doing 2 ampoules. This 2 stopped working. I started doing 3 ampoules. 3 stopped working. I started doing 4 ampoules. So I did 5 at once. And then that was when my body started jacking. Like I had epilepsy, and then foam was now coming out from my mouth. So I guess I did overdose with that 5 ampoules I did. So it was crazy. When you have epilepsy, they're supposed to put a spoon in your mouth, right? So, but nobody, all my workers had never seen me do that before. I had never seen my body do that before. So everybody was confused. So I ended up chewing my lip and my tongue. So my mouth was so swollen by morning after everything had gone down. So that's it. So it was just a struggle. And then every time I tried to stop doing it, I'll start vomiting. Anytime I try to stop, I try to stop, I'll start vomiting, I'll start purging, I'll start feeling sick. I'll be sweating so much, AC will be on, fan will be on, I'm still sweating, my whole body is wet. So if you try to stop doing it, that's what happens. So then you have to do it to be normal. Then when you do it to be normal, so like cocaine makes you high and hyper, and then this drug makes you low, you feel really down. So after you do it, and then after I did it, then after that initial feeling of, oh, the injection is sweet, right? Then you sleep, right? When you wake up, you feel one kind of depression. You even feel worse. Every time you wake up, like, I feel like crap. I feel so depressed. And then when you now wait maybe 6-7 hours and then you do the injection, then the depression will go away and then you'll be happy again. So it's a circle, keeps going around, around, around. So one time I got fed up like that, and I just wanted to die. I just wanted to go. I was just tired. So I knew what 5 ampoules did to me. So I purposely injected myself with 10 ampoules. I wanted to just die. I just got tired. I'm tired of life. I'm tired of school. I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired of everything. I just want to die. There's nothing worth living for. So when my workers found me, I wasn't breathing. My heart wasn't beating. I wasn't breathing, and I did the injection myself, and I used a very big vein on my wrist. So as I was becoming unconscious, the needle was falling out. So when the needle fell out, the blood from the big vein was gushing out. So it was a horrific sight to see. It was terrible. So my heart wasn't beating, I wasn't breathing, I wasn't moving at all. So next thing, I just saw myself, I just saw myself, I can see all white with big machines, doctors, big machines on me, doctors trying to bring me back to life. And I said, damn, motherfuckers, I'm still not dead. What kind of wahala is this now? Yeah, and that's what I said. So that's it. And then when they saw that, okay, it has gotten to the point that I committed suicide. Well, we're not going to call it suicide attempt. This one is, I committed suicide. It's not even an attempt. Because I died. My heart was not beating. I wasn't breathing, So when they said I got to that level, they're like, no, we need to come in and help, we need to come in and help Jarima, she needs support and she needs therapy, you know. So another thing, something I felt like made me feel I wanted to die was I've always had this problem about being the only child stuff, you know. So I just feel like I don't have no one to talk to. I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone to share my problems with, you know, no one to, okay, when something is coming up for me, there will be someone that will give me a shoulder to lean on. But I don't have anyone. It's just me, you know. So I'm tired. And even right now that I'm talking to you guys, you know, I really feel tired. I'm so sick and tired of being this only child, and then I have to do everything for myself. I don't have any brother, I don't have any sister, no one, no one. I can't say, today I want this Tesla cyber truck, and then my brother will say, you can have three. I don't have anyone like that, so I have to do everything for myself by myself. So even right now, I still feel the same way. I've always felt this way all my life. Since, you know, like since you start having sense, maybe since primary school when you start having sense, you know that this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my family. Since that time that I realized that it was just me and I had no one. Because even if it's a fight now, even if it's a fight in primary school or fight in secondary school, you don't even have anyone to fight with you. You're just alone. So yeah, I really think that played a very big role in some of the things that have happened to me in my life. So I don't know if there's anything else.
Okay, I think that that will be okay for now. In case definitely we'll have the next few minutes to interact. Others, people who will be intervening, who will be asking questions. So you can always definitely come back. You can mute at that end now. Okay, we would like to thank Hawa Mohammed, popularly known as Jaruma, for taking us through her story. I can tell you, I have worked with Jaruma in the last couple of days and weeks, and I know the story is longer than that, but then because of time constraints, so let's just, but then I guess we're still free to interact with her as well as Dr. John Umogbae as we go by. But first, let me quickly acknowledge some of our compatriots on this space. Once again, I'd like to appreciate Dr. John Umogbae for the time and his presentation. I also like to thank Jerome for coming up against all odds to tell her story, to own her story, and also to take the bold step of coming out with her story. And I believe a number of people would have gotten some inspiration from this. A number of people would have also learned a lot of lessons from her story. But before we open the floor for interaction, let me quickly appreciate and acknowledge some of our compatriots on the space. I'd like to appreciate Dr. Asiya Adamugu. Thank you very much for joining us. Ajia Kem, thank you for being part of this conversation. We also have Tini Do, that's also popularly called TK. TK is a medical practitioner, joins us from Maryland, US. Thank you, TK. We have Ibrahim Kuru. Ibrahim Kuru joins us from the Northeast. Thank you, Ibrahim Kuru. Yoranshe Ledumare, Pascal Ewebu, Dr. Jonah Kolo. Dr. Jonah Kolo is a senior officer of the agency. Pharmacist Fasia, thank you for being part of the conversation today. We also have Arewa Poet. Thank you, Arewa Poet, for coming around. Dr. Molara. Dr. Molara is already well seated. She can't wait to intervene. Thank you, Michelle. Mohammed Bafo, Kalfuri, Bolawa Pelumi Solomon, Ogunjobi Afis, Friday Omoshola, Rebecca, Ponjo, Suleiman, AGN, that's Abduganil, Mazi Ezeoke, Doshi Baby, Omar Ungosi. Sorry, somebody sent in a message to describe me. It's one of our compatriots in the US. Thank you guys for joining us early this morning hour. I know it's early morning where you are. Okay, Doshi Baby, Omar Ungozi, Alutulu, Pamela Ephraim. Pamela, quite a while. It's quite a while I saw Pamela on this space. Farouk Kwabai, Betty Bako, Miriam Jarida, Kenneth, Ambassador Kenneth, Black Mind, Adesoji Adediran, Toby, will be acknowledged as many people as possible as we go by, because we have barely 40 minutes left on this program today. So let's quickly go into the conversation proper now. Let's get your thoughts, interventions, contributions, and questions. We have Jaruma in the house to answer your questions or area of clarification. We have Dr. John Umubai to also intervene, and I also have our most reliable, dependable Dr. Asiya Adamubiu also joining us. I know she's busy where she is, but then she has to also step in to intervene. Okay, let's take the first shot. Who will take the first shot now? Okay, apologies everyone. I just have to give the space first to Dr. Asiya Adamubiu, because I know she has a very choked schedule where she is, and for her to find the time to come on the space. Thank you very much, Dr. Asiya Adamubiu. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Babafemi. Yes, I'm going to be very brief so I can return to what I'm doing. Thank you. Dr. John, well done. Very well elaborated. The issues of emotional relapse, judgmentalism, excessive love.
I guess we lost Dr. Asiya's audio there. Well, Dr. Asiya, is anyone hearing her?
No, we can't hear her from this answer.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you.
Very well.
Okay,
I was going to start this talk by saying that you seem to have been regaining your...
Okay. Let me move to the next person. I guess when her network is stable.
You were saying something very, very important, and she has bad network. Maybe you can contact her. And
yes, I may have to. Okay, I'll ask Francis to connect with her and use the other method so that she can speak. Francis, please go ahead. Try to connect Dr. Asiya. But then let's go to the next intervention. Let me get from Dr. Malara. Please, Dr. Malara, if you are ready.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I must say it's always very impactful to sit in and listen on all of this, because in my practice as well, there are a lot of things that resonate with me, and a lot of things I always carry away from this forum. So kudos to NDLEA for this. And I'm particularly excited about today's session, because we have someone with a living experience of what we're always here discussing in big terms, and this person has gone through it and has the strength to come and share from her experience with us, so that we learn better and we know what works and what does not work. But I'll start with Dr. John. Thank you for your very well put together presentation. There are a couple of things that you mentioned. Albeit the one that stood out to me the most was about stigma. We find some of the normal things that people who have used drugs go through because we know very little about it, but the more people share from their experience, the more we break down the whole enigma around drug use, and also the solutions you proffered to destigmatizing substance. I think is impressive, and I think that we all have a role to play, because we speak about it as if it's far-fetched, but we practice this daily, so we need to imbibe this and then teach others how to destigmatize substance use disorder. Jaruma, you closely follow a celebrity online. Sometimes you feel you know a lot about them. So as she was speaking, I could relate to some of the things, like I could remember, this time that happened, this time that happened. But I must say, I commend your strength, because you already said you were heavily criticized, and then, coming to speak about this, I hope that it brings you solace. I hope that it brings you peace, and I hope that the journey you started.
It looks like the network is not too good here, but I'll just round up by saying something quickly to Jaruna, because of the last statement you made, that you still feel a bit disenfranchised in terms of your position in the family, and in terms of the fact that you think you actually committed suicide. And when we hear the word suicide, we don't take it kindly. So what we will do is, I'm happy you are where you are at. I know you are regaining your strength. And I know that stigma is not necessarily the problem at this point. Because you have been able to come out, you have been able to speak to this situation, you have been able to overcome the shame. You are not isolating yourself in any way. Your power is coming back. There's no toxic fear around you, as far as I can hear. But we will continue, as I have been able to discuss with one, I think, Dr. Babafemi, so that we will get to the root of this and bring you completely, by God's grace, back to where you would like to be. I thank you for your strength. I thank you for speaking out, and I thank you for helping others with what you have come to share with us today. Well done, and keep at it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Dr. Azia Damu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
All right, thank you.
I don't know if
Yaruma, let's Dr. Molara, please go ahead and.
Okay, I apologize for the interruption. So I was saying there's something Jaruma said about being an only child, and from childhood she knew that she was very well aware of it and felt alone. And I currently have a client that's going through same. And I just want to say that if there's anyone out there that's an only child and feels alone in the world, like, you're not alone. There are so many interactions you can make, very meaningful interactions. Man is naturally a social animal, so you would always look to interactions. I would say try and explore friendships. Try as much as possible to open yourself to being, your siblings are not necessarily your best friends. People with a lot of siblings will tell you that. So try as much as possible to make meaningful relationships or create meaningful relationships with friends or people you come across, so that you don't have that loneliness, because it's reoccurring and it's coming up more and more that people that do not have lots of siblings or that do not have any sibling at all have this feeling, and they carry it along with them for a very long time. So well done to you, Jaruma, and I hope that this is just the beginning of your wellness, that you would carry it on through all aspects of yourself. Thank you, Dr. Babafemi.
All right, thank you very much there, Dr. Molara. Okay, Jaruma, you want to say something to that? Okay.
No, I just wanted to thank her, and then I also want to remind all of you that the way we used to know drugs, like only kids do drugs in secondary school and university, married women are now doing it. A lot of married women are now doing it. So I hope that now that I'm part of the team, after this is just the first step. We're going to put out more things. We're going to post more things, on all social media platforms, just so that people will know what's going on, and they will know that there's help. There's help. You can come out of it, and you can get well. You can get well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you there, Jaruma. Let's take the next intervention from Kenneth, Ambassador Kenneth. Please go ahead.
I'd like to thank everyone on this platform, the management, the staff of the NDLA, Dr. Femi Babafemi, because sir, we have to give you honorary PhD very soon to add doctor to your name, sir. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity and for the platform. Jarma, I like to say that your story is inspiring. And I'm so glad that the NDLA has created this platform that is bringing people together to network and to forge a way forward for a drug-free Nigeria. Today, I was opportune to be speaking with Ibrahim Kuru. We finished a program in Maiduguri concerning substance abuse prevention, and following the success of the program, he reached out to me saying, "What more can we do?" He was talking to me and my team today, saying, "What more can we do?" And we're talking about some skits that were developed in Hausa, some media skits that were developed in Hausa, and we had him see about 7 of them. And we also have a short film series that we developed in Kwara State, a short film and another 5-part film series. So I was telling him that I was going to approach Dr. Femi Babafemi to see how we can partner to disseminate this information so people can get this right information. I like the way that Jarama said that the drugs that she knew, she was not interested in trying them. It was the one that she didn't know about, which buttresses the formal team of the International Drug Day that share facts and save lives. When people are informed, they will probably most likely make informed decisions concerning substance abuse. So it's the ignorance that we need to challenge. And the training that we received at the UNODC program, the drug education program, that encourages us to go to the high schools and do evidence-based prevention programs. So I believe that there's a gap, and God has raised individuals that have the passion. Maybe we need a little more training, and then they can create that platform to train us more development, so that our passion can be efficacious passion that has international efficacy, so that we can do more. Well, I am here to say that, Jarma, I'm proud of your story. I want to applaud your bravery for coming out, for even saying that you want to share facts concerning the case. I hope that in the future we can find ways to partner and work together. And I want to thank the NDLA again for this platform. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Ambassador Ken. Jaruma, you want Ambassador Kenneth is offering you a partnership.
I'm more than willing. I'm more than ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because Mr. Kenneth, there are a lot of details that I couldn't even say now because of time. So, but you just need to. I told you need to see visuals. Like I wish it was a video so that you can see what I'm talking about. So yes, I'm willing. I'm grateful for the partnership. I'm more than grateful.
All right, thank you there. Let's take the next. Let's quickly come to Ibrahim Kuru. Ibrahim Kuru also has an awesome story, and today, by the grace of God, is going places, advocating and preaching using his own story. I think Ibrahim would definitely have something to say. Ibrahim, please go ahead. I hope your network is.
Mr. Femi, thank you again for putting me on this platform. I'm so glad I'm here. And Jaruma, it is so nice to finally meet you, the infamous Jaruma. And I'm a fan of you because you built an empire by yourself, and you're a very good businesswoman. And it's unfortunate that you have to go through things you are going through right now. Myself, I was a drug user for over 20 years, and I'm a suicide survivor. So my advice for you is, first of all, due to your social status, a lot more people like Dr. Anu are going to be around you. They are going to come to you. They are going to come for you. Things are going to be offered to you. Don't take your recovery lightly, because it is so easy for you to get back into that life due to the fact that you're on the spotlight. You are an inspiration, and I'm sure you are a role model to a lot of young ladies out there. And I hope this step and the courage for you to come out to tell your story, to set the record straight. I know you did this partly because you don't want different narratives to come out about what you went through. But the advice to you is that use this platform. I hope you are going to use this platform. Earlier today, like the Ambassador Kenneth mentioned, we were together, and he too, he's a drug survivor. And we sat down and discussed, and we just realized that we're just young men passionate about changing lives of others. So, Jaruma, for someone that you didn't go through let me say, the steps. The steps in the sense that you didn't start from, we started young, we started smoking cigarettes, we went through the steps. We went directly to the higher echelon, which is actually more dangerous than us because we went through the steps. So you started your drug use late, and it's a quite dangerous one. And I hope you are going to keep to your sobriety. And one thing that I would advise you that will help you is that advocacy, talking about people use.
Yeah, Mr. Ibrahim, can you repeat what you just said for the past 30 seconds? We lost
Ibrahim,
you
yes.
30 seconds.
Ibrahim, where you were going to advise Jaruma, that we went off. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Go ahead. Yes,
I said we primary to secondary school, so we went through the steps till we got to cocaine and all that. Yeah, so we got to cocaine and all that. So you just jumped the steps to something very strong, it's quite more dangerous than what we did. So my advice is to take your sobriety seriously. And one way that you can go through it is that you should be serious on this advocacy. You have a platform, you have large following. You can actually do something to change the world. I know you're already changing the world because your business employs a lot of people, but you can impact a lot of lives through this way because we're actually going through a drug pandemic in Nigeria. So that's my advice today. And like Ambassador Kenneth said, we are down for collaborations and whatever it is you bring at us, we are ready throughout your journey. Thank you very much.
All right. Jaruma, you heard him?
Yes, I heard him. Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And then the way you said I should use the platform, I also want all of you, the whole NGLA to like appeal to more celebrities to come out and talk, because majority of celebrities are doing this, and that's why they call it steaming off, so with the pressure of fame and being in the spotlight, then you come back home to release the steam. So I wish NDLA would make, more celebrities come out to talk. It's not just that, okay, you're a celebrity, then you just, keep silent about it. You don't address it. You don't say anything. You just move on with your life. I just wish more of them would come out and talk, because almost everyone is involved in one thing or another.
All right. Thank you there, Jaruma. Let's take the next intervention from Arewa Poet. Arewa Poet, are you there? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Rahim Farfani, for the opportunity. I just want to appreciate, I want to say well done to Dr. John for a beautiful presentation. To Jaruma, kudos, man. Well done. Well done. I totally understand where you're coming from and what you actually went through. Being a survivor myself, I actually battled addiction for I think 16 years. So I know exactly know what you're talking about. I just want to say I think our focus should center towards drug demand reduction, advocacy on stigmatization. I think we should focus. We should pay attention to that. Everything, whatever platform you have, you have, you should actually use it to actually advocate for drug demand reduction and stigmatization. We should actually concentrate on that, because we can actually stop drug trafficking and drug use. We can't stop it. So let's just tackle it from. Let's face it from head on. It's very important. I think being a writer, I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm an author myself. I think one other place that I can actually relate to Jaruma was when she said when it comes with a lot of pressure. I actually understand that.
Okay, I think we lost Arewa Poet there. Okay, Arewa Poet, can you hear me? Okay, we obviously lost him there. Okay, Jaruma wants to say something. Please go ahead if you want to say something.
No, I was just trying to tell him that we lost him. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's give the next opportunity to my officer there. That's Asma. Asma, quite a while. Asma, please go ahead. I knew you wouldn't ask to come to the speaker's corner if you have nothing to say. Asma, please go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Femi, you know I'm always at the listening end to gain more knowledge.
When you asked for the mic today, I was sure that you have something to say.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Director Mr. Femi Babafemi, our guest speaker, Dr. John Omubai, and every other listener. To contribute and add to what Dr. Omolara has said, I have this for Hawa Saidu, popularly known as Jaruma.
Daddy, I don't know if you can hear her. We cannot hear her over here.
Okay, I'm hearing her loud and clear.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start all over again.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening,
over again.
Okay. Good evening to our amiable director, Dr. Femi Babafemi, our guest speaker, Dr. John Omubai, and every other listener out there. I have this for Hawa Saidu, popularly known as Jaruma, and to contribute to what Dr. Omolara has actually said and started. In all honesty, this may seem difficult for most people to do, but I must say that I am impressed by your bravery in coming out to tell us your story. Against all odds, you won the war, the drug battle. I want to believe your story will today forge a path, Hawa, for those in recovery, and also serve as a point of reflection for those who have found themselves in similar situations. Well done, Hawa Saidu. You are an Amazon. This is what I call the drug war. I personally will state that you're an ambassador already. And to Dr. John Omugbai, thank you for an impactful and insightful lecture. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much there, Asma. Asma, smart and intelligent officer. Awesome from you. That's a good encouragement, a good one for Jaruma, and a good commendation also for Dr. John Umobai. Okay, let's take the next intervention. Like I'm running against time now. I still have a lot in our GM. Okay, maybe after this one, I'll have to go to our GM so that I can enter. I know quite other people on our Facebook page and our YouTube. Unfortunately, we just have to appreciate them and acknowledge them. We can't take it, but I will still take time to read some of the questions in our DM for Dr. John and Jaruma to respond to. But quickly, let's take this one from Friday or Shola. Friday, you have a question or contribution? Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I must commend MDLA and Ms. Jaruma for this amazing conversation. My name is Friday Omoshola. I'm a journalist with Premium Times newspaper, Abuja. Ms. Jaruma mentioned been trying to get justice for what Dr. Ayo did to her. So my first question was, were you able to get justice before she died? And secondly, to NDLA and Dr. John, we've seen a situation whereby a celebrity were often the one influencing young people going to drugs, contrary to what Ms. Jaruma said about being influenced because he was a celebrity. So what are the mayor, NDLA, and other experts in this field are doing to address these issues of young people being influenced by a celebrity, and the other way around, as Ms. Jaruma has said. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Friday. Let's take the first reaction or response from Jaruma, then Dr. John, then possibly I would also cap that up. Jaruma, please go ahead.
So when they found me, I wasn't breathing. My heart wasn't beating, right? So after they brought me back to life, it will take some time for me to get well, therapy, So after getting better, that was when I sued her to court. We wrote a petition, so she knows we were on her trail, So she knows that okay, I was angry, I was mad, I was so upset. How could you do this to me? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I have a clean record, So I was so angry. I really, really wanted to get her. But unfortunately when she died, I just forgave her. I felt so sorry. I forgave her because she's dead now. She's dead. She just died last week. So she knew that, yes, I think they had summoned her from court and said there's a petition. And then I told you I reported her to my father, Omar and Daddy Femi. I reported and I said, so NDLA too, they were just, preparing, getting ready to go and get her. And then we just heard that she's gone. So that's it. That's what happened. But yeah. So I didn't get the justice like, okay, I'm going to sue you for 7 billion naira. You're going to give me, I wish it went down like that. But unfortunately, it didn't. Yeah, she knew I wasn't happy. She knew I went to court. I'll show you all the dates, the petition, the dates, time, everything, so that you can see it was long before she even died. But I had to get well first. I had to get back, to myself on my feet. I was like, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to go after Dr. Anu or do you want to let it go? And I decided I wanted to go after her because we're so sick and tired of doctors creating drug addicts. Doctors are the ones creating more drug addicts. Yeah, so I think I've answered my own.
All right. I think Dr. John would have to react at that point. Thank you, Jaruma. Dr. John, please go ahead. Yeah, is Dr. John?
Yes. Okay. So thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. That's a very good question, and a good reaction at that. Unfortunately, this is as one would rightly say, we are dealing with a pandemic here. And if you had followed my presentation, there was a part where I did state the role of media, and this is a collective effort. Yes, you're right. We have a lot of our celebrities, a lot of our musical artists. They go through this, even though they go through this in secret, and they battle this for the reasons of what they do. They still glamorize a lot of these substances and these drugs. They glamorize it, and this itself negatively influences a lot of young ones and a lot of youths and a lot of people coming after them, thinking that that's the way to go. So it's not just the effort of the NDLA or the effort of clinicians, it's the collective effort of everyone. That sensitization is very, very important. I did say that we should learn to fight the culture of silence. Let us stop keeping quiet. It's important that we begin to speak up. Everyone in their own little space should begin to speak up. These artists, a lot of them do not know better. They are just like our sister Jaruma has gone through this. They too have also been negatively influenced and have gone through. Some of them don't even know how best to deal with their problems. Some don't even know the right way to go. But when we speak up, when we have forums like this, even with the media, you work with Premium Times, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done breaking that culture of silence, and that will go a long way. Not just destigmatizing, also sensitizing everyone about the dangers of substance use. I was reading an article today where smoking marijuana loud has been implicated in head and neck cancers. It's a recent study. But do people know this? No. What we have online and what we have a lot in a lot of these spaces are the beneficial effects of all of these things. Nobody talks about the harms and the dangers. You go on music videos, you see them smoking all over the place. You see them taking drugs, popping pills, throwing out cash and all of that. Do we have regulatory platforms that work against this and actually try to stop all of this? So it's more than just one individual, more than just one organization, but it's a collective effort of everybody, starting from the home, down to schools, down to churches, to mosques, religious houses, in our workplaces, everywhere. We should all be ambassadors for this. And there is no stopping to say that we all play an important role, and not just the artists themselves. Yes, they too play a very important role. I think we can begin to start motivating ourselves and allowing all of us to come out. And I most importantly and wholeheartedly appreciate what Jaruma has done today. I know this is not the first time she's probably doing this. She probably would have stopped, but she has broken that culture of silence. And we see how much this has motivated everyone. I'll tell you, this program is recorded today and will be publicly shared, and you will be shocked how millions of people will benefit from what she has done today, including celebrities around the country and globally. So I would encourage all of us, let's break that culture of silence. Most importantly, let's all be ambassadors against the war of drugs and addiction. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. John. Done almost all the areas I needed to cover, but I'd like to assure Friday or Moshola that indeed the agency, that's the NDLA, we've said it over and over again, and I'll repeat it, that indeed in this effort we wield both the big stick and at the same time the carrot, meaning that when we need to deploy law enforcement, we do that in response to what you are saying. And I'm sure you would have seen on record where we've had to make arrests in that industry, where we've had to prosecute some people, who are today ex-convicts in addition to that. But then, far and above that, we also try to throw the carrot, deploy the carrot approach, that is getting them involved, collaborating with them, partnering with them, and that has led us to a relationship with the that's Nigeria Guild of Actors, Nollywood, the umbrella body for the Nollywood industry. We have a partnership and a relationship with the leadership of that organization, and they're always in touch with us, giving us information, updates, and while we also work with them to ensure that that industry is cleaned. In addition to that, we also, it's an open secret that indeed we also have the same relationship with the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, that is PMA. We've gone to meet them. They are relating. We are working together also in that industry. And that's different from the relationship, bilateral relationship with the individuals. We even also have a celebrity, drug-free celebrity free club in the agency work. That's like a civil society organization also, which also provides an umbrella for celebrities that are against substance abuse. So we have quite a lot of multi-layer platforms for to collaborate with them and to push the message against drug substance abuse within that industry. And just fortunately again, we have the film and video censors board recently also coming out to say that indeed they need to, our content creators would need to approach them for some approval before they push just any content out. That's also another good step in the right direction by trying to moderate some of the content that that people push out, which really in some of these things they try to glamorize or glorify substance abuse. So like Dr. John said, indeed, this is a collective thing. It's not just our General Buba Marwa. It's not just about the NDLA. It's not just about even the president of Nigeria. It's about all of us. It's a collective thing. And that's why at the NDLA, we're deploying a whole of government and a whole of society approach to it. Thank you very much. So that I don't take, we have barely 10 minutes more. Before I come to you, I see Sister Ray. Sister Ray, you have a question or?
No, sir. Sorry, please. Excuse me, sir.
Okay, Jaruma, please go ahead. Jaruma,
yes,
go ahead.
Dr. John, what you said about celebrities coming out to speak, everybody was waiting to see how Jaruma's own will turn. If Nigeria turns its back on me now, nobody will come out with their story again. Everybody will be like, see Jaruma, when she told her story, what happened? So please, now it depends on you guys. The way you guys treat me from now onwards, that's the way celebrities will feel. Okay, is this safe to talk about what we're going through, or is not safe? If Nigeria treats me good, then celebrities will speak. But if Nigeria treats me bad, and you show like I'm being stigmatized and thrown away, then everybody is going to be afraid to actually come out with their story.
That's a valid point there. Okay.
Just to add to that, so sorry. I really appreciate what Jaruma has just said. And I think the onus is on all of us to create a positive trend out of this very episode. And I think it's very important to do that. The positivity of this would go a long way in changing the narrative and encouraging other celebrities to actually speak up and be free to speak up or tell their stories in different ways and try to promote this. Also, the carrot is very important in seeing how we can actually encourage them and positively motivate them to do this. So, Jaruma, thank you very much for reiterating that.
Very well. Thank you, Dr. John. Jaruma, you can rest assured by the grace of God, nobody would come out stigmatizing you. I mean, that's why we had to bring somebody, Dr. John, to come and talk about stigmatization. That is addressing the fear of stigmatization in recovery. That's very key. We're very intentional and deliberate about that. Before you speak, we had to get a professional to speak, to talk on. And I'm sure you've seen, if I tell you where Dr. Hasia Adamobiu is, she's very, very, very busy, but because of you, she had to step aside from what she's doing to be a part of this conversation. So definitely, like it's been encouraged, everybody, we all need to go out and encourage Jaruma. We all need to go out and promote a positive narrative that will encourage others to come out of their hiding, so that we can push a good narrative about recovery, about the fight against substance abuse, so that people can be bold enough to own their story and come out. It's really not an easy thing for Jaruma to come out and say this or do this. It's quite a lot of effort, quite a lot of boldness. She's really defied the odds to do this, and I hope we all would have to do the right thing by encouraging her with our comments, with our remarks, with our support and everything. Thank you. Do we have Sister Ray? You're probably the last person who will give the opportunity if you are ready. If you are not, have Arosh Abdul. Arosh Abdul, are you ready? Yeah, he's gone also. Okay, I wanted to give let me quickly read one or two messages from our DM. Am I going to I'll go through. I want to Pascal Ewegbo, I just want to commend NDLA for making this platform available for the public. Nigerians are getting informed regularly about the sensitization, enlightenment, and advocacy ECT through WADA and SOF that save our families, as launched by the Chairmanship Executive General Mawa, even in the midst of scarce resources. Okay, thank you there, Pascal. Please, there is this Sharifuddin Shuaibu. Please, is there an immediate help needed to secure our youth on drug abuse here in some locations in Enugu State? There is a chemist, blah, 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 that sells many kinds of high drugs like tramadol and many others which you use on everything. Please come to our DM and give us appropriate information so that, the exact location of the pharmacy store you are talking about. Thank you there. Okay, this is Kenneth. This was indeed an expository. She needs support and reason to live right. Thank you very much. Deja vu, sorry I'm late. Greetings everyone. Yeah, Deja vu, I gave you, I think your network is not allowing you to get to speak. Okay, Abimbola say, my question is, how is the government responsible? Because she said the country, can you explain that? Okay, that was actually directed at, okay, please mute yourself so that I don't remove you. Okay, Pete, okay, I think Pete, this from, let me quickly, okay, deja vu, let me see if I can take a deja vu, just one, I pray your network works. I'm trying to hold on to get you connected, deja vu, so that you can make your contribution.
In your school, in your home, in your church, in your mosque, wherever you find yourself, in your office, anywhere, speak up. Let's break the culture of silence. It all starts with that. Seek a professional, seek the advice of a professional, going for help, going for treatment. It's very, very important, and all will be well again. We would see the positivity in our society come back to life, and we would win this war. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, thank you very much there, Dr. John Umobai. He's been with us in the last 2 hours, and he's done pretty and excellently well, making a very good presentation, and then joining the conversation to break things down and raise awareness. Thank you very much once again, Dr. John Umobai, for your time. For those who are seeking for support or partnership with Jaruma, please come to our DM. We would always clear with her and then link you up with her at the appropriate time. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's get Jaruma, your closing remarks, please. Go ahead.
Yes, you mean like my Twitter? Yeah, everyone.
No, just your closing remarks. Just your closing remarks. Don't worry. When they come to our DM to ask for your contact, we would always clear with you before we give them your contact. Just your closing remarks. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to remind everyone that you just see people. You see people on the screen, and you think you know them, or you think you know everything about them. But you don't. People are going through so much. People are going through so much that you know nothing about, so it doesn't hurt to be kind. You need to be kind with your words and your actions and things you do, things you say. People are going through so much. So you're going to open 100 pages on Facebook, Instagram, you're going to see all smiley, jumping, laughing, having fun, but that's not what's actually going on in real life, So please, let's all try to be kinder to people. Even me, Jaruma, the old Jaruma before, now fire for fire, no nonsense, you come for me, I will scatter you. But now, I'm like, no, I don't know what this person is going through. So let me not drag the person or harass the person or say something so that the person doesn't sink deeper into depression. So it's a new me now. From this is my first step, this confession right now. It's a new me. It's a new chapter in my life, So, and I just want to be a better version of myself. I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm in competition with myself. I just want to be a better version of who I was yesterday. That's all. And, for the fact that I really wanted to die, because I died, my heart wasn't beating and I wasn't breathing. So it's like God is like, Madam, it's not your time. So I don't know, maybe God kept me alive for this. Maybe there's someone out there that needed to hear my voice and needed to hear what I said today. So maybe this is what God wants to use me for.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jaruma. Once again, would like to appreciate and commend Jaruma for taking this bold step. Indeed, let's This is all we have to offer: encouragement, partnership, and positive relationship, so that we can get more wins. Just like Jaruma herself said, I just believe the person she said put her through this is dead. Who knows? She could have also have died, but then God spared her for a purpose. I will believe very strongly that indeed God is taking her to higher heights and new places, because her message, her story needs to get to millions of other people so that they can learn and so that they can take informed decisions when they are faced with situations, when they are faced with traps. So that's it for today on this conversation. Once again, we'd like to appreciate Dr. John Umogbai. Thank you very much for your time with us. We'd like to appreciate, once again, Jaruma Hawa Mohammed, popularly known as Jaruma, for your time, for that courage to come out and tell your story. It's really encouraging, really inspiring. I will pray God Almighty will continue to be with you, will continue to support you and lift you higher. I'd like to appreciate all our compatriots, those that have joined us from across the world, our compatriots in the US, our compatriots in Europe, our compatriots in Australia. I saw Pete. Pete has been a voice on this platform. I think Pete joins us from Australia or somewhere there. Yes, thank you, Pete. I got your message, and I've read that out to Jaruma also to encourage her and to encourage millions of others. Thank you to all my colleagues working behind the scene with me here. Shidi, I'd like to appreciate Rita, right in Lagos at Lagos End. Thank you, Shidi. Thank you, Musa.
Mr. Femi. Please, everyone,
yes,
I'm willing to do this again in Hausa. You know, if you need to get to Northerners, you need to get to Muslims. I'm willing to do this again in Hausa. If you want a visual, like a video with my face talking in Hausa, I can do it. If you just need my voice, I can do it. So that's just.
Don't worry, Jaruma. We still have a lot. We still have a lot to do together. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jaruma. Okay, as I was saying, trying to appreciate my colleagues working behind the scene with me here. Mention Rita, mention Shidi, mention Musa, Francis, Mahmoud, Dele, Philemon, Lex, Neta, Comfort, and all of you guys. I can't mention all your names. Just accept that. Until we come your way again next Friday, by the grace of Almighty God, please stay out there and be safe when you go out. This is Friday. Yes, we know it's Friday, but then please let's learn from some of the stories we're hearing. Let's learn and be more careful. Let's learn and be more careful. God bless you and be safe out there. See you next week. Over to you, Mahmoud. Bye-bye for me.
If anybody give you banana, sky, if sugar daddy give you cocaine, run, give you skunk, give you loud, tell you send I want start, chase, that's how you take start, hey, what's in my eyes don't see. Simba, oh, what you cool, Simba, oh. No be say, I know they hear when them say, make I stop. Hey, I know fit stop. I swear I want to stop. Somebody help me stop. If anybody give you banana, sky, hey, whether na school she, oh, Simba, what you cool, Simba, oh.